Hi guys, I have a word for you and I want to go ahead and tell you what the word is. So the word is, will you yield yourself? Now this is coming from the book of Ruth, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to read Ruth chapter 1 verse 16 through 18. But Ruth replied, don't ask me to leave you and turn back. Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Wherever you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord punish me severely if I allow anything but death to separate us. When Naomi saw that Ruth was determined to go with her, she said nothing more. And so this is where the word came, verse 18. I want to go ahead and read you guys what God gave me. Naomi was so bitter that she decided the daughter-in-law should go home, and they all wept. But Ruth chose to stay with her. Once Ruth said what she said, Naomi didn't say anything else. This was the moment Naomi yielded to what Ruth said, which was all a part of God's plan. When we try to take control, we hinder God's plan, so we need to yield ourselves to begin to see. Naomi was still bitter and believed God was punishing her, but it wasn't true. She still went on the path of God leading Ruth. She didn't even see what was taking place. So this is what I began to write as I started getting deeper into it. Don't allow your situation to cause you to be blind on what God is doing. Don't let bitterness have its way. Yield yourself to the Lord's plan. So as I was praying, meditating, this is what God ended up saying, and I want to tell you. God says, will you yield yourself? How long will you stay in bitterness? Am I the God who disappoints? Am I the God who fails? No, so why do you question me? Why have you allowed bitterness into your heart? My child, trust me and yield yourself. Let me heal your heart. I know things aren't going the way you want, but remain faithful to me. I didn't fail Naomi, so why would I fail you? That's so powerful, you guys. Don't hinder my plan because of your bitterness, anger, and worrying. Let go so I can begin my plan. Without your faith in me, you won't see my hand at work. The choice is yours and yours to make. Talk about a word. Talk about a word. Listen, God was speaking so much. Even as I was reading that, I just felt Holy Spirit. I want you guys to understand something. Life doesn't always go as planned as you want it to. But one thing you have to understand is that God is in the works. God is moving. And you have a choice on whether to let that bitterness, that anger, that rage, all the things that you're going through to get mad, or to begin to have faith and look at what God is doing. Because see, Naomi was bitter. She just gave up. When they got into the town, she said, don't even call me that. Okay? She ended up bringing a new word, okay, which was a word that meant bitter. And you have to understand that that's how she seen it. She just seen that she was defeated, that there was nothing, that's it, okay? And I'm gonna tell you something, I had those moments too in my life. But one thing I've known, and one thing we see in the book of Ruth, is that God came through and it was all according to his plan. Even though Naomi didn't see, it was all according to his plan, and it was Ruth that he used. You have to understand that. Sometimes you're asking God, what is going on? God, what is happening, right? And God is telling you, trust me, I'm in the works. I know you don't see it. I know it's a lot going on, but trust me, I'm in the works. Get out of your bitterness. Stop being upset. Stop having anxiety, all these things, right? Look at me, daughter. Look at me, son, because I'm in the works. I'm moving. That's why I love that in this word what God said. He said, without your faith in me, you won't see my hand at work. When you begin to lack faith, you begin to not see what God is doing. When you begin to lack faith, you don't no longer pay attention to what is taking place. You look at all the stuff that's failing. You look at all the stuff that's not taking place. And then you start to compare that with your old life. And then it's just a lot of things that begins to happen. And instead of just saying, you know what? God's in the works. Let me tell you something. We're still looking for a place, okay? We went ahead, we applied for this one place. It was beautiful, but we got denied. And you know what? I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what, God? You're moving. You're providing. I'm just going to trust you, and I'm going to have faith in what your will is for my life. because that's what I have to do. I was in bitterness. I was in, you know what I'm saying, worriness. I was going through it. I was in fear. All these things, like the way that Naomi was feeling, that was me. But I had to say, you know what, God, I can't keep on doing this. I got to yield myself. And yielding ourselves is yielding our emotions. Choosing to get out of that mind of defeat to start looking at the victory which God already has. To start saying, you know what, God, I know who you are. I know what your word says, and I'm going to trust you. I'm going to have faith in you regardless. And so I just really want you guys to just catch this, what this word is and what it really means. God is asking you to yield yourself. God is asking you to yield what you think is going to happen, all these things, right? To trust him and his plan, to have faith, to seek him, to draw near to him. It is a choice, and a choice that we have to make, because if we choose to just keep being in this slump, choose to keep being in this mindset, going through it day and day, it's going to kill us in the inside. It's going to leave us bitter to where we see everything as just ending. Our life is over. All these things. But God doesn't want us to be in that mindset. He doesn't want us to live that type of way. He doesn't want us to do that, guys. And so I really pray that you understand what God is saying, and that you understand who God is, and that he won't fail you. He didn't fail Naomi. He restored. And so you have to understand he's doing something in your life. And even though you can't see it, remain faithful to God. Trust him. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys receive everything the Lord wants you to know. If you like this type of content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. The goal is that we reach a lot of people, so go ahead and like and comment, because it helps more people begin to see. If you want to sow to this ministry, you can go ahead and go to my links that is listed in my link below. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Bye.